The products I'm about to share are not going to be based necessarily on value per dollar. Instead, these are items that I've enjoyed this year, handpicked by myself for their design, build quality, and aesthetic appeal. Think of this list as the things you would buy yourself, just because. There's simply no shortage of options when it comes to desk accessories and organization, especially affordable ones. But having a place for some of your most used items doesn't have to be purely functional. It can also be a thing of beauty, like this brass eyewear stand from New York-based design brand Craig Hill. What I love about their products is that they blend simple tactile design with real-world functionality. Most of their desk accessories feel like sculptured pieces of art. This stand may look simple, but it also makes it look like it's actually wearing the glasses. And then we have their Nocturn Catch, which is made out of solid American walnut. A perfect place for your keys, your wallet, or any other loose item you might have on your desk. Actually, I prefer to combine the eyewear stand with this catch-all simply because of the way it looks. Not only are my accessories organized, but they also look like they're thoughtfully displayed. Now, I can't tell you how many headphone stands I've tried over the years, but what I can tell you is that none of them really spoke to me the way this one does. And this is also from Craig Hill. I think it's because the stand doesn't take the attention away from the design of the headphones. It just gently cradles it for you to admire. The steel body has a modern yet timeless design that hardly takes any visual space. And of course, the molded silicone seat makes the perfect resting place for my favorite pair of headphones. Just beautiful to look at. Now, if you prefer a more modern take on the classic catch-all design, I recommend the Mag 3 in leather by Courant. This catch-all is also a charging tray for Qi-compatible devices, such as my iPhone and AirPods Pro. The design is unassuming, but the grainy texture of this real Italian leather is very interesting and appealing. I love the design of this charger because it can sit on your desk or entryway and blend in very nicely with the rest of your decor. There's also a linen version if that is more of your design preference. It's functional, premium, and beautiful. Out of all the MagSafe wireless chargers I've tried, the Stand One by Nomad has to be my favorite for its simplicity, form, and build quality. The weighted metal base offers the perfect viewing angle with a beautiful glass body in the front. Even the long braided cable feels high quality. And best of all, thanks to the weighted base, it's easy to change your phone's orientation with just one hand. Personally, I prefer simple chargers like this over the multifunctional ones that charges other devices, such as an Apple Watch, just because I think it looks cleaner. Speaking of watches, I recently discovered a micro brand that I really like. This beautiful piece is made by an Italian watch company called D1 Milano. It has a 41.5mm brushed steel case that looks stunning under the light. The open caseback design shows the Miyota 9015 movement, which is a cost-effective but reliable and precise automatic movement. It's also thinner than you might expect at 9.8mm thick, making it comfortable to wear even on my 6.5-inch wrist. It looks like a cross between the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak and the Patek Philippe Nautilus, which are very expensive watches. And I think what makes this watch appealing is that you get a similar look for much less. The design is understated, but make no mistake, this watch has presence. The first thing my wife said was this watch looked bright because of the polished metal and the sunray finishing on the black dial. So if you want that stunning premium look, I say check D1 Milano out. Now let's switch from understated to something a bit more fun, because this watch by Boulder might be my new favorite everyday watch. This is the 3XT GMT Limited Edition, which is a collaboration between Boulder and Worn & Wound, an independently owned brand by people who love watches. So a little disclaimer, they sent me this watch to feature on my Instagram, but I just fell in love with it so much that I'm including it in this video. I love it so much I'm wearing it right now. This watch features the relatively new Miyota 9075 automatic GMT movement. This movement allows the main hour hand to be adjusted independently, which is beneficial for people who regularly travel between different time zones. The stainless steel case is chunky, but it tapers towards the sapphire crystal, making it actually look and feel smaller on the wrist. The rotating internal bezel can be used as time markers, a third time zone, or as an elapsed minute or second counter. The look is modern, outdoorsy, and just plain old fun. This is actually the more tamed colorway with the gray and teal, and it feels amazing and looks even better in person. A great adventure watch that is functional, super fun to look at, and at a relatively affordable price point. The only downside is the fact that it's a limited edition with only 200 of these produced between the two colors. So if this type of watch resonates with you, I'd try to grab one while you can. I know the title says Favorite Work From Home Things from 2023, but since I occasionally do travel and talked about my favorite adventure watch, I figured that this would be a good segue for the next item, which is the Gibraltar Aluminum Carry-On Luggage by Level 8. I've always loved the aluminum look popular in high-end luggage brands, and I think Level 8 manages to capture that same allure in this one. The construction is mostly aluminum magnesium alloy with a dual TSA-approved lock system. I love the slow release handles that prevent that clunky noise when handling it, and it also gives you an added feel of premiumness to the luggage. The spinner wheels are mostly plastic but are quiet and operate with a very smooth movement. Inside you'll find mesh pocket interior dividers, and they even include a 4-piece packing cube travel set, a luggage tag, and a dust cover. This luggage has a 36-liter capacity and weighs about 10 pounds on its own. And it looks absolutely gorgeous. I really like the way it looks, which makes me a little anxious to get it dirty or scratched. For weekend trips, I like to use duffel bags instead of backpacks, and I actually own a few. And one of my newest ones is this Arris Duffle from Craig Hill. It's a 45-liter duffel that's also TSA compliant to fit in the overhead storage. The construction is a double-layer nylon fabric, which makes it feel soft and cushiony. This material is also coated with acrylic to add a layer of water repellency, which is definitely ideal. The bottom is double reinforced for added protection and durability, and the handles are made of this nice rubberized mesh webbing. The tiny splash of color and the distinct look of the overall construction make this one of my favorite weekender bags. This next item is somewhat related to travel, but not necessarily. It also happens to be my personal favorite product of 2023, despite it being released towards the end of the year. And I'm talking about the Ray-Ban Meta Smart Glasses. First and foremost, I almost exclusively only wear Wayfarer-style sunglasses. It's a timeless look that goes with just about any outfit for any occasion. Smart glasses were never something that I found to be particularly appealing because A, they usually are not that good, and B, they usually look weird. The Ray-Ban Metas found a good middle ground that I have been enjoying since their release. They almost look like regular Wayfarers, except with discrete 12-megapixel cameras in the corners. They're also a little heavier, but not uncomfortable. Certainly nowhere near as bad as my Bose Tenor smart glasses. The Ray-Ban Metas use touch controls for volume and media playback, but also has a dedicated physical button for capturing content. Photos can be captured at 3024 by 4032 pixels, and video is captured at 1080 resolution at 30 frames per second. You can record videos up to 60 seconds long, which I find to be more than enough for my use case. However, I'm hoping that the next version they release will allow for longer video recording at a higher resolution, because that will be very appealing to people who use action cameras to capture POV content. Audio quality is okay, but microphone quality is actually pretty amazing. Battery life could be improved, but at least charging doesn't take long. I got about 30 to 40% worth of battery charge in around 10 minutes. The charging case is beautifully designed with a classic look and modern functionality. I love it because it lets me capture videos of my kids without having to whip out my phone all the time. And the thing is, you don't have to use them for content. They look like completely normal Ray-Ban Wayfarers, which you can use every day. This year, Apple decided to stop offering leather phone cases in their lineup. Fortunately, you can still get leather cases from other companies, such as this one from Mujjo. Mujjo has always produced premium quality phone accessories, and this just might be my favorite leather iPhone case to date. The machined metal rear camera bump protects the lenses and adds a sense of modern luxury to the case's design. The leather is sourced from the Netherlands, which is gold rated by the Leather Working Group for environmental standards. It's also more sustainable thanks to the dry tan water-free leather tanning and the use of recycled metal for the buttons and the camera bump. The machined buttons offer a nice tactile feel and responsiveness, and the charging port is not impeded. This case is also MagSafe compatible, which I think should be standard in any iPhone case nowadays. And of course, the leather will eventually acquire a unique patina as it ages. This color is called dark tan, but you can also have it in other colors such as burgundy, depending on their availability. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this video up with a nice tiny bow by featuring a few items that can help elevate your work from home experience, starting with this keyboard that I've been using for the last 2 months. This is the IQUNIX ZX75 Dark Side Wireless Mechanical Keyboard, a 75% layout design with a translucent polycarbonate frame and backlit LED lights. Polycarbonate is great because it makes the keyboard lightweight while still maintaining good impact resistance. The keycaps are made of PBT material and are resistant to degradation caused by UV light. Of course, this keyboard is also hot swappable in case you want to change the keycaps and switches yourself. The RGB backlighting can be customized to match your mood or setup, and the integrated multimedia knob lets me play and pause media or control the volume. This is actually my third IQUNIX keyboard, and the consistency of their quality and the general appeal of their designs are always high in my book. Even though there's no shortage of productivity apps available on our devices, there's just nothing like writing something down on a piece of paper. That's why I'm including this gorgeous note-taking kit, which is a collaboration between GroveMade and creator Matthew Encina. It includes the 3 following items: the small double-sided notepad with dot grid patterns and a metal base, the display rail to hold your notes or devices upright, and the vertical organizer to help sort out notes, reminders, or important documents. These 3 combined can improve your workflow and organize your space at the same time. Each item is made of premium materials and adds a luxurious feel to your desk. Although the note-taking kit is simple in concept, it is highly practical and beautifully executed. And that's why it's one of my favorite things this year. I hope you enjoyed this video. As we say goodbye to 2023, I'd like to make a simple request, which is asking for your support by subscribing to the channel. With all the great products I've come across this year, I can't wait to see what 2024 brings. See you again soon.